Good afternoon or good morning and welcome everybody. We are so happy to have you here today to join us for our soft launch presentation of the Learning Management System for the 21st Century Community Learning Center's National Technical Assistance Center. My name is Dr. Candace Ferguson and I'm proud to serve as the project director for the NTAC. We're so excited, as I said, to be able to showcase what we've been working on over the last few months and share it with all of you. And like we said, this is kind of a sneak peek to a small crowd, and we're just so happy to have you here to see what we've been up to. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. LaShondra Scroggins from the U.S. Department of Education to give us a warm welcome. Dr. Scroggins?
Thank you very much, Dr. Ferguson, and good afternoon or morning, everyone. Welcome to the soft launch of the 21st CCLC NTAC Learning Management System, or LMS. The team has worked really hard over the past 6 to 9 months to develop a system that would allow you to take courses in a way that you would be able to customize and track your progress of your learning. There are a lot of great features and functionality that you will see today, along with many others that we're still working on to be completed by the hard launch in the spring. The LMS is a part of a larger professional learning portal that is being designed to offer a robust professional learning experience and community for you. I would like to thank Dr. Janelle Wood, our project lead, and co-project lead Andrea Jackson for her support, and Patrick Rooney, our director of the 21st CCLC program, and the rest of the 21st CCLC program officers for their support. I would also like to thank NTAC for being great thought partners and for their patience in making sure our vision came into this reality. So thank you all, and I will pass it back to Dr. Ferguson.
Thank you so much. And Sean, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you. Mr. Sean Petty is going to walk you through the LMS today.
Excellent. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Candace, and that wonderful also addition to the introduction from Dr. Scroggins. We are very excited to share with you the new learning management system that we are launching today. Before we get started on that, a couple of items that we just want to remind everybody about, and that is the NTAC's vision and mission. You can see them up on the screen, but really our entire goal is to support you and to help build capacity. As I mentioned, though, our entire focus is to build capacity, and that is because it's one of our top priorities. As you can see on the screen, these are the priorities that we have been tasked with, and this is what the website and the learning management system and everything we do kind of centers around. With that in mind, however, let me share a little bit about the website. So for those of you in the field, you're very familiar with what we call the premier destination website for NTAC and for 21st Century. This is where you can go to get news and resources and updates, share who we are. And this was kind of like the first initial launch of us getting information out to you. It was basically our ability to share blog posts, resources, news. It's how we allowed you to connect with the team. It's where we gave you event updates and even more. Now it's time to evolve. So we're evolving into something that we call the professional learning community. We see this community as all of you and us participating in just one large ecosystem that helps support youth by giving great resources, benchmark practices, and by chatting with each other through the venues that we've created. The NTAC website is the launch of that, and now we're evolving into this professional learning portal. The professional learning portal will consist of 3 different areas. The first area has been launched for some time. It was launched with the website, and it's what every state or SEA coordinator can access. And we call that the SEA Corner. That's where we post all of those resources that are specific for state education agencies that allow you to continue keeping the program going. Today, we're launching the Learning Management System, which is where we're going to store training courses, resources, and more, micro-learnings, mini courses. And then the evolution of that is going to happen in January when we do a full-scale launch of all the capabilities of the Learning Management System, and even more with something called the Knowledge Network. Now, we're calling it the Knowledge Network right now, but it could be named something else. Matter of fact, we'd love to get your thoughts on that. In essence, it's an online discussion forum area, sometimes called a community of practice. We like to call it the Knowledge Network because it's an opportunity for you to network with each other and share your knowledge. But that is going to be launched in January. So you can see how we are building this community in whole. But right now, let's jump right into the learning management system and actually take a look at what you're going to experience. So I'm going to switch over. Here we are. I'm going to ask my producer, Dave, can you see the website?
Everything looking good, Sean.
Excellent. Thank you so much. One thing you'll notice right away with the website when you go to it is it's constantly evolving, being updated, and changing. So you'll notice some new pictures that rotate, that really highlight what we do every single day, which is support youth and support other educational practitioners in the out-of-school time field. If you scroll down, you'll also notice that our events are constantly updated, with our next event happening on November 19th for the Community Violence Intervention and Prevention webinar, which we are so excited about. So we hope that you'll check out the event side here as well. As you scroll down, you'll notice that we have updated the latest numbers and more on the website. But if I go back up to the top, you'll see right here our menu structure. Our menu structure here says who we are, talks about our partners and frequently asked questions. And right here is our resources. This is where you've gone to access professional development materials in the past. And don't worry, while we're doing this soft launch of the learning management system, we are still going to keep on the website itself all the resources that you've had access to before. And those are in this learning resource area. So you can still access these wonderful capacity building courses on learning recovery. You can still access the 2 mini courses that we have up, and the micro learnings, and of course, the ever popular toolkits. In the future, after we launch fully, which will happen in January, after we launch fully, this area will become an area that will supplement the learning management system. A learning management system will be able to track usage and get you into detailed coursework or mini coursework, whereas this area will allow you to access like toolkits and various resources. It's kind of that build model. Here you'll get some resources to get started, and the learning management system will allow you to go deeper. Other areas for the website are, of course, the news, where we keep what's new, latest social media posts and information from your peers in the field, as well as announcements. We also have our newsletter and blog and a Connect with Us tab. But over here, you'll notice in the past, this has said SEA login, but now it says login. When you click on it, here is how you'll access the learning management system. I'm first going to show how an SEA will log in. If you are an SEA leader, you already have a login and you already have access to the learning management system. I'm going to log in right now, very briefly, as an SEA. So I put in my email and my password. And you'll notice it takes you back to the page, but you'll notice up here you now have a new menu button called Professional Learning Portal. If you look at that, underneath it, it's got the learning management system, and I apologize, I must have used my grantee sign-on. When you're in my role, you have hundreds of sign-ons, so I apologize. Here we go. When you log in as an SEA, you now access something called the SEA Corner, and it will open up, and it is under this new menu bar. You see Learning Management System and SEA Corner. So if you're an SEA, you can jump right into Learning Management System from here or continue on to the SEA Corner. To log out, you just simply log out. If you are a program director, a leader in the field, or anyone who has access to Learning Management System, you will jump in with your sign-on and you'll notice that new bar and a drop down for the Learning Management System. You click on the Learning Management System and that takes you officially to the Learning Management System. Who has access right now? We are in what's called a soft launch, and during a soft launch, that's basically an opportunity for us to get feedback, add new features, test new features, and ensure that the system is really working to fit your needs. So in order to do that effectively, we want to make sure it's the best product ever. So we have streamlined to ask individuals who are participating in the ITAP, the Individual Technical Assistance Plans, which today is Michigan and North Carolina, program directors, as well as the SEA leaders of those two states. And that's who's on the line, because I see many of you as you are here. If you're an SEA leader, you already have access. You can use your current sign-on and log in, and this is already updated and ready to go for you. If you are not an SEA leader and you've never had a sign-on to the system, please don't worry. My good friend Natasha, who works here at NTAC, she is releasing those emails to you. You may need to check your spam or junk file because sometimes it gets thrown in there because it's just not a normal user. But hopefully we're in your address because you get our newsletters and more. If so, you'll get that access and you'll be able to log in just like I did. And then you'll be able to go right here to the Learning Management System. To show that one more time, and Candace, please, if I go too fast, because I've been delving with this for the past 4 months, Candace will slow me down and say, check that again. Again, showing how you get there. Log in, Learning Management System, and voila, here you are in the Learning Management System. So now that you have access to Learning Management System, what do? Well, first thing, acquaint yourself with the actual site itself. You'll notice right here that we have our logo, and this is how you get back to the main website. You always click here and it will take you back to the main website where you can log out or you can go back to Learning Management System. If you want to always come back to this landing page, this home page, all you have to do is click LMS Home. And then if you want to see your courses, you would click right here. I don't have any courses right now, so this is not populated, but we're going to fix that. The landing page. Let me walk you through the landing page a little bit. As you go to the landing page, you have your latest announcement right here. We're announcing a very popular course called Guiding Positive Student Behavior. This is what we call a mini course. From there, it will have a call to action, like you can enroll in this course and take it, or you can scroll down and see some of our featured courses. In the future, we may name this feature resources because courses itself is a little, I guess you could say, not quite what they are. These are all the resources that we have, and these are the ones that we're featuring. This is a micro-learning resource on trauma-informed approaches. This is a mini course on becoming a leader. We have another mini course on facilitating positive youth behavior. We have a full course on learning recovery and another mini course. These are the top 5 that we're showcasing. But we have many more than just 5. We have an entire course catalog. If you come here, the course catalog will automatically scroll so that you can see what's going on. If you find something that catches your eye or a topic of interest, all you have to do is click View Course. Or another thing is you could click View All. I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can see all the courses. This is our entire course catalog right now. Now, as we are in the soft launch, there are 8 active courses, but we will be actively, or resources, I should say, we will be actively adding to this. So even during the soft launch, you'll notice that all of a sudden there's a new resource in this catalog. So be on the lookout because that is what we do. We constantly add tools and resources for you so that you can use them to help you. In this catalog, you can look at our categories. We have 3 categories of resources on the learning management system. A course. A course is something that takes roughly, it can take as short as just 1 hour, or it can take up to 2 hours. They're broken into small chunks so that you can take it at your pace, but we have 1 course right now, the Learning Recovery course, in the system. An area that we're really leaning into is something called the mini course structure. A mini course is designed for those busy leaders who just want to get the knowledge and get right out there. It typically runs from 30 minutes to 60 minutes. Sometimes you may see it 90 minutes with some of the activities, but it's meant to kind of be contained within that hour-long time frame. A mini course is the second resource, and it's distinguished from micro-learning. A micro-learning piece is something that is really short. It's anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. It's typically an audio brief or a short YouTube video clip or a clip of a 3-minute learning piece that's put together in sequencing. These are the 3 resources. What about toolkits? Right now we're storing toolkits over on the main website in the learning resource side, but we will integrate toolkits because they will be used in courses into this learning management system. Right now, again, we only have 8 resources there, but as we get more and more, you can sort them alphabetically, you can look at them by tile, or you can look at them by what we call the detailed view. You'll notice as you look at the detailed view that it has the course cover. And this is a great example. I left this one in so that you can see what type of feedback we're looking for. This item right here is being cut off of the screen. So if you notice little things like that, we want our product to be the best thing ever. So all you have to do is give us some feedback and we will fix that. In this detail, it shows what they are, shows the title, gives a description, and allows you to go into the course. Again, as we have more and more resources added in, this is going to get highly populated. So one of our upcoming features that we plan to launch in the next year is a rigorous search function where you can just simply put in what you're looking for and it will pop it up for you. Now that you're here, how do you get back? You just click on LMS Home and that takes you back to the landing page. I mentioned feedback. We are very excited about this, and during a soft launch, it's kind of like a beta test. We're looking for lots of feedback. We have a very simple 1-minute survey. All you got to do is click this button. It will open up in a different window. It's literally 3 questions, an area for you to type some detailed comments. You can leave as much as you want, hit done, and that will come directly to us. So if you have thoughts about usability, thoughts about a course, thoughts about the design, let us know. Let's jump into a course. I'm going to go to the catalog here, and I'm going to ask one of my colleagues here on the line. I see that Michelle Owens, who's going to be my co-host on the Community Violence webinar on November 19th. Michelle, what course would you like to take?
I would like to take Becoming a Leader.
Becoming a Leader. Okay, that's a good one. So you go here. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
And you click View Course. And that brings up this page right here. Now, one thing that you have to do in order to enter most of the courses, you have to enroll. Why do you have to enroll? Well, that is how we actually track your learning. We're not tracking how much time you spent or whether you got a 100%, at least not yet. Just kidding. What we're really doing is just tracking usage. For folks who utilize coursework or utilize professional learning for certifications or for tracking to demonstrate that they have taken so many trainings a year, we need to track that so that we can have generated reports to show how much time, how many courses, what type of learning you've taken. So all you have to do, if this is the course you want, you click enroll. It will also pop up related courses, other courses that kind of align with this same topic area. It'll tell you what language. An option is for the future to do different languages if we go that route. So if we did that, there would be other languages here that you could choose. And it will tell you the general, what is estimated to be the duration. So we're going to go ahead and enroll in becoming a leader. That takes you to the course description page. As you're on the course description page, it says you're enrolled and it tells you what to do. In order to get credit, so to speak, for this course, you just simply have to complete the activity. It gives you an example of the mini course, has resources that you may want to download. In this case, it's the Becoming a Leader Toolkit. You just click on it and it'll allow you to save it directly to your desktop. And you can see it just popped up in my desktop. When you're ready, you click enter. And if you ever want to go back, you can hit LMS home or home right here. Let's go into the course. All right, here we are. This particular course, Becoming a Leader, was designed in a style to be contained in this web page. So you notice it opens up right here and you can hit begin. Everything is contained in this window. If you want to make this menu go away, you click the hamburger menu right here and it goes away, making it full screen. As you click begin, you can start taking the course.
When you think about leaders you've had in your life,
here it goes. Most courses allow you to jump around. Some courses do require you to go in order. Once you complete a section, you're always able to go back and check it again. Down here, when you come to the end of a slide, you would click select next if there's a next button. You can also click next down here in the player. You can take notes and print those notes. And if you're like, oh wait, someone's at the door, I have to go answer the door and come back, you can exit the activity. It will take you back to this description page. And when you're ready to come back, you just hit enter again. And you'll notice it says, do you want to resume or do you want to restart? If you hit restart, it's going to restart your entire progress. So if you're halfway through the course, just hit resume.
When you think
and it takes you right back to where you are. All right, let's go back to the home page and let's choose a different course. This time I'm going to ask Candace. Candace, do you have a course that you would like us to take?
Let's try the Facilitating Positive Youth Development.
Oh, thank you. This is a fairly new course for us, and it's done in a different style. So let's click on it. Once again, because this is the first time we've ever been in this course, we have to enroll. The course is in English. It's roughly 30 minutes, and you can see kind of the objectives and some related courses. So we're going to go ahead and enroll. That takes us to our page here that tells us a little bit more. And this is a mini course that's been designed in a distraction-free style. What does that mean? It means it's going to open up in a new window so that we can really focus on just this course and not be distracted by anything else that may pop up. When you're finished, you exit and it will come right back to this page, and then you can go back home. So let's enter. And you can see it opened up in a brand new window. Now this window says Facilitating Positive Youth Development. And it gives you kind of an overlay of what items are in it. And as we click Start Course, it pops up. And you'll notice this is a different structure. It has taken over the whole window. There's a hamburger menu over here that allows you to choose where you want to go, or you can just stay on the course. As you go through the course, you interact with it. It will gradually populate, and when you're done with a section, you just hit continue, and there's an audio file right here that you could play. You hit continue, and you'll notice if you go to this hamburger menu, as you complete it, it marks it complete with a check mark there. This particular course requires you to go through modules step by step. But once you go through a module and you interact with the module and do the different pieces, once you finish a module, you can always go back. So you'll notice we've completed 2. I can now go back to the introduction and take it again if I wanted to. Then, when I'm all done, I just close out of the window and go right back here. And I'm going to go back to the home page. So I'm now going to show you this tab called My Courses. When you go to My Courses, you'll notice now that I have 2 courses that are in progress. This little 3-dot ellipse right here, if you click on it, it will tell you that you can start this course. Like, let's say this course right here, Facilitating Positive Youth Development, is your favorite course. You love it so much, you're going to revert back and come back in. And Lorraine, I see your question. I'll answer that in just one second. But let's say you want to come back in and constantly love it. So you just start the course. And when you start the course, you'll see this gold star pop up, and it now populates in your starred course items. But let's say becoming a leader, you're like, I'm already a leader. I wrote the book on being a leader. And you're like, I don't want to see this course again. You can literally remove it from your view. Sorry, I'm double clicking there. There you go. Review it from your view, and it pops over in this remove from view. But if you're like, oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. I really do like that course. I don't want it to be removed. Bring it back. Don't worry, it stays there. You can come back, restore it to view, and it leaves that area and goes back into your in progress or your all. As you've completed courses, they will pop up in your past. And a feature that we're launching is with your student dashboard, which I'm about to chat about. A feature that we're going to launch is the ability to tag future courses to say, here's a course that I want to take, I just don't have time right now. And again, you can see these in tile view or in detail view. So Lorraine has a great question, and that is, will the login time out if I leave a course? So right now we have the system programmed to have you constantly logged in. So there is no timeout. Now, if you refresh your browser system, which is called clearing your cache, that's where you go into your privacy settings and you clear out your privacy or your history. That's going to go ahead and auto log you out. That's your system logging you out of the system. But let's say the worst thing happens and you're like, I just closed my course. Oh no. So you were taking this, this course right here. You were in it and you're like, you accidentally just closed down your whole system. It closed right out, totally. And you're back now here. No worries. All you got to do is come right back, go right to it. And the power of a learning management system is the ability to jump right back in exactly where you were. And it has everything that you did already stored. So let's say I have a special sign-on that allows me to click and go ahead and consider everything done just because I do a lot of testing. So I'm going to go ahead and just click through real quick and just close this out. But let's say you go through the whole course and you're done. All right, it's going to make me answer. There we go. When you're done and you go back, by closing out your course and you go back, here, you can do a couple of things. If you're like, I want to take this course again, but I want it to track me from the start, you can unenroll yourself from the course. It's going to ask you if you really do want to unenroll. There we go. And then you can go back to the course and it's as if you never did it. You just enroll and you start right over. All right, so Lorraine says, yes. One of the issues in this particular style that Lorraine's bringing up is that these and often as course training, you can zip through it before actually viewing the information. Can this be modified or can we view a back-end record? Absolutely. This is something that actually our leadership team brought up yesterday. And so while we want to make sure that people have a lot of flexibility in coursework and can go in and out of courses if they need content, we are looking into the first time you take a course, kind of having it require you to go through the various sections so that your training credit has a lot of value in the fact that you went through. The other thing is we are embedding retention checks and knowledge checks to allow people to possibly test out of sections to move on to the next section. So that's one of the ways that we're addressing that, Lorraine. Great point. So that is everything that we have currently. But the last thing I did want to show you goes back to how do you get your certificate? Lorraine likes the testings part. When you go to your courses, if it's a course that's eligible for a certificate of completion, when you go to the wrap-up piece and you do your reflection, it's going to ask you to complete a survey. One of the reasons we do surveys is because this is how we improve. It's data that allows us to improve our product and our services to you. And after you do the survey, it's going to take you to a certificate section. In this certificate section, this is very similar to coursework that you've done before. You will put in your name. I'm going to use my avatar's name. And you can input the date that you took this course, today being the 13th of November. And it tells you it took 0.5 hours. It's issued by 21st CCLC NTAC, and then you can download this. And my browser setting is set up to be in portrait style, but you can change it for landscape style to get that certificate and then print that or save it. Now, one of the questions that we've had are, well, okay, so I have this paper downloaded version of the certificate, but will there be an area of the learning management system where I can go and actually see everything that I've done, all the coursework, all the trainings that I've done? And the answer is yes. One of the reasons that one of the things that we're working on is we are working on a student dashboard or a learner dashboard that you can go to. You'll be able to track your progress, see what courses you are in, see what courses that you've started and want to take in the future, see what courses you've dropped out. And upon course completion, it'll have your certificates actually in the dashboard that you can then re-download or track or print out an Excel file so that then you'll be able to upload that into if you go for certificates of education units for your certification programs or anything like that. So that is a feature that is not being launched today, but it is next on our launch development cycle, and we are working diligently to do that. along with that dashboard will come something called learner pathways. We are creating learner pathways that if you are a project director in a rural program, there might be certain training resources that are aligned to your skill set. And we're going to recommend those for you so that you don't have to search the course catalog if you don't want to. You can go right there and just choose that learner pathway, and all your courses will be outlined or starred for you to be able to do that. So that's the future. Is the question in the chat, is the completion time the same for everyone for a given course, or does it time the person who took the course and put that number on the certificates? Great question, Alan, and thank you. We have estimated based on our knowledge of training and development and just curriculum development overall, we have estimated what we think a person with due diligence would need, the time it would need to go through a course. And so that is what we put on the certificate. Now, if a person is just, if it's a concept that you really know, you're like, I know a lot about positive student behavior. I'm just going to go through this as quick as possible. At this time, we're not going back and saying, oh, you didn't stay on the course for 30 minutes. We're allowing you to go ahead and go through it and then get the certificate. But to Lorraine's point, and also to one of our program leaders who brought this up yesterday as we were showcasing some material, we really are looking at that retention kind of reflection piece or quiz back or even a discussion piece to allow further requirements around that certificate so that they really have a lot of value for you. So, great question. I'm going to ask my fearless leader, who has been diligently working with me almost every day for the past 4 months on this process, to see if I covered everything in regards to the learning management system. Dr. Ferguson, anything that I left out or you want me to jump in?
No, I think you've got everything that we have to showcase so far. What I will say, and just kind of re-emphasize what both Dr. Scroggins said and Sean said, this is just the beginning. We have several items already in the works. So the idea behind the soft launch is just as he said, is to give a small audience a glimpse into what is currently there, but you will be seeing information being updated. As Sean mentioned, the dashboard will be updated, and lots of new features coming out, but we're also really excited to share new courses that we'll be developing in this next year, especially, that will have a different look and feel. And so, as he mentioned, your feedback is critical for us to continue. We're looking at this with a microscope, and but if you see something, please let us know. Submit the feedback form, or I'm going to drop our email here too, that you can send us with ideas, additional information, especially as you all get in and you start saying, oh, I wonder if it could do this, or it would be really nice if it could do that. We haven't even talked about reporting features for state level staff that you'll be able to access as we continue to build this out. So I will just say stay tuned. And I did want to say, I saw a question just come in, but Sean, if you could address a little bit more about the rollout. We have about 6 minutes and do want to continue taking some of these questions, but this kind of slow rollout process that we're doing, and when folks will be receiving their logins who are not SCAs who already have them.
Perfect, thank you. So this is the launch officially right now. This is the time that it's launched. So Lorraine, we will check your sign-on because right now it should be active. But with any launch, sometimes it takes time for things to populate. I know you probably hear tech guys say that all the time. They're like, oh, it takes a while to populate through the internet. It's true. It does take a while to populate, but it shouldn't take too long. So we're going to double check to make sure that, and we will do that right after this webinar to make sure SCAs have access. All SCAs should have access right now. And if it doesn't, just let us know. Thank you, Karen. We'll double check that and make sure that it's working. For those who are not SCAs, You should receive an email today. Well, again, if you wake up tomorrow morning and you're like, I don't have an email, what's going on? Please check your junk. Sometimes it's called junk, sometimes it's called spam folder. If we're not in your address list, education systems can be really protective of your email, which is great, but it blocks us sometimes from getting to you. So please check there. And we are currently launching our phase 1 with North Carolina and Michigan, and only individuals that have participated in the ITAP process. So we have a list. So if you don't get an email and you're on this call, which might happen. We've done some due diligence on who was invited and the information. But if you're on this call and you're like, I want to be in there, we totally respect you and we love your help, but we do want to limit, so to speak. Limit is not the right word. I'm so sorry for saying that. We really want to streamline the feedback to individuals who are participating in the ITAP, because we feel that would help us get this to the best product for full launch in January. Now, we're doing a phase 2 next week. We're going to include some more states that are participating. And then the week after that, we'll have additional content being delivered and some more info. So every week there's going to be something new and more people using it. And as you give us feedback, as you tell us something like, hey, this didn't work for me, or as Lorraine mentioned earlier, I wish you would really kind of make this where people have to go through it. You might see those changes implemented literally right after you give that feedback, because that's actually kind of my job. That's one of the things I do. And so we're going to be diligently working on that. So, and then everyone, everywhere will have 21st century. Everyone participating in the 21st century program will be able to access the full learning management system in January, along with that launch of that knowledge network, which we're super excited about, which is going to kind of be like our very own, benchmark area, way to network with each other. Any further questions, or I invite any of our leadership team, Dr. Scroggins or anybody, any additional comments that you would like to add or throw out there, or is there a curveball that we haven't addressed that we need to hit?
No, just thank everyone for joining us today, and we really look forward to you going through the LMS and providing us with feedback, honest feedback, because we want to make sure that this is a tool that is useful to you.
Perfect. Well, with that, if you're like me and you're like, I have a question and I just didn't ask it, or I don't like putting it in the chat, that's fine. You can always communicate with us in multiple ways. We have email, we have website, we have so many different ways to communicate with us. But yes, definitely, Lorraine, be in touch, because we're excited for launching this. We want your feedback, and we look forward to continue engaging with you with our various activities. Like the one that I'm super, super excited about is the Community Prevention and Intervention webinar happening next week with Michelle. Dr. Ferguson's going to be there. Actually, Dr. Scroggins giving our opening for that. So we're excited. We hope you'll join us. But until next time, have a great Wednesday, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.